Good evening, everybody. It is Sunday, the 4th of September. My name is Danni Wells. I am a Regional Vice President and Independent Consultant with Arbonne International. And this is our weekly team get-together, our team huddle. And a lot of us have just got back from our annual once-a-year United Kingdom conference, which was unbelievable. I'm not going to talk about our conference because we've got some great trainers tonight who were there live in person that are going to talk about it from their experience. So before I hand over to those guys, I'm going to do our weekly IPA. I'm just going to share my screen and get that up. Heidi, can you see this? Yeah, great. Okay, so this is week, what are we on? Hang on, I've done it from the wrong page. 1 minute. Hang on, there we go, week 10. Right, week 10. Okay, so how did everybody get on? So last week, our challenges were to do the daily 5 IPA again, which was a challenge that we'd already done before, but it was backed by popular demand. Everybody seemed to absolutely love this concept, which was a bit of our system really, which is 5 days out of the week, finding 1 hour and a half. You can have more if you want, but that's the minimum. And in that 1.5 hours, 5 days a week, you read 1 chapter of a book, make 1 new friend, book 1 appointment, do some follow-up for about 15 minutes, and then listen to 1 audio. So does anyone want to share how they got on with this? Whether you did 1 of them, whether you did a couple of days, whether you did all of it, it doesn't matter. Does anybody want to share how they got on with any of
it? I did it, well, sort of. I did everything. The thing I've really struggled with is booking an appointment. So when we did it the first time, I've tried to do the table every week since, and I can do everything. I'm okay at. It's the booking an appointment that I really struggle with, and I got, was it 1 or 2 out of 5? So that to me is really highlighted that I need to do some extra personal development on how to book appointments.
I was the same, Ruth. I was exactly the same. Did you manage to listen to any of the recordings that were suggested?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I listened to a few of those. I've still got a couple to go through because sometimes when you're listening to SoundCloud as well, it'll go on to the next person. Yeah. So I've kind of found a few of my own through that way.
Great. Right. Did anyone else want to share anything about last week? Okay, right, we'll carry on then. So some of the photos from last week from the IPA. So this was filling out your diary, doing the 1 hour and 30 minutes minimum, and then finding some quiet time to do that. And then that was from last week. Okay. Listening to an audio. Again, that's Stacey, look, listening to one of the audios. Reading a chapter of a book. Booking appointments. Listening to an audio, follow up. There's Ruth, look, she's so good, isn't she? She always just absolutely storms the IPA. Okay, right, so that's that. Let's go back onto here. Okay, Ruth, can you see this?
Yep, yeah.
Okay, so this week's IPA, we've got 5 tasks. So task number 1 is to find a friend or some connections of people who live in or near Glasgow. Obviously, we are going to be going there for our annual conference next September. So what would be great is if you could go into whatever your form of making friends or connecting people is. So for me, it's Facebook groups. So for me, and this will be different per person, I'm going to personally go into vegan Glasgow groups because that vegan restaurants and places to eat interests me, and that sits in line with who I am. Obviously, if you're not vegan, then don't do that. But find something that you are going to connect with, and that for me is what I'm going to do. What other people could do is maybe look at going into groups and saying that you're having a work trip away in Glasgow. What is there to do with the kids? If you were looking at taking your spouse and your children, you could maybe say what clubs is there to go to in Glasgow. You could maybe look at lovely places to eat. You might want to do like a yoga class or a meditation class while you're over there. Anything like that that fits in line with your hobbies and who you are as a person. find a Facebook group for that near Glasgow, or just ask on your main page, say, does anybody have any friends that live near Glasgow? So say I wrote that, and then Ruth commented and said, yeah, I've got a friend in Glasgow. Obviously, it's pretend that Ruth didn't do Arbonne. Then I could connect with her friend from Glasgow and say, you know, like, whereabouts do you live? Do you know how far the train station is from the conference centre? And just get chatting that way, you know, build up some connections, some friendships in Glasgow. So that's task number 1. And there's a map of Glasgow, because I wasn't quite sure where it is, but it's down there at the bottom, look. So it's not too far from Edinburgh. That was quite interesting learning where Glasgow was as well. Okay, task number 2, write in your diary the annual global conference that is next year. I actually haven't got a diary yet, so this is going to spur me on to buy my pro planner for next year, because they're on sale now, so I'm going to get that ordered and put this in. It's April the 20th, which is a Thursday, to April the 22nd, which is a Saturday. Get it in your diary, and then sit down with your spouse or your significant other, or if you haven't got one of them, look at you, and work out the cost of the tickets, the hotels and the flights and childcare. Work out how you can make it happen and who is going to come with you. And there's some booking.com where the conference is in the MGM Grand, so you can start looking at hotels and flights together for the MGM Grand. And then flights to the airport in Las Vegas is McCarran International Airport. Okay, number 3. This is a big challenge. So as much as you can do, don't worry if you can't complete this one, because it is a big challenge, but because so many have left AAC, we're all on massive momentum. So I thought, let's aim high, and even if we get to 3 or 4, it's still great. Book a coffee date with 5 people to talk about your business with them. So either old consultants who aren't any longer active, that's what I've done. I managed to book quite a few coffee dates with a lot of inactive consultants recently today. Or connections that you've made, or people that you want to practice on. So following the momentum of AAC, it's going to be quite easy to leave a voice note for people and say, hey, I've just got back from my annual conference. I've got some great new products to talk about. I've got some great new business information to talk about. Would you be willing to have a coffee with me so I can go over it? And you can either use that as a real thing, or you can say, can I practice? Whatever you're most comfortable with. Number 4, write down 5 affirmations and say them every day this week. It'll be really great to hear people doing some videos of this and sharing it on the team. So I know a lot of people are really great at recording themselves and sharing it with everybody else. And that's something that I need to personally work on. That was highlighted to me massively over AAC, that I need to work on my affirmations every day. And then you can type in affirmations into Google and it will come up, and you can type in money affirmations or success affirmations or confidence affirmations or feeling good about yourself affirmations, or whatever affirmations you want to say to help you with your business, you'll be able to find on Google. And then lastly, number 5, type Arbonne AAC into YouTube and watch one of the videos, and then share with the team, once you've watched one of them, what you watched and what you thought. So all you have to do is type in Arbonne AAC and scroll down to one of the videos that interests you. So all the different AAC years are on there. Find one that really appeals to you, watch it, and then share with the team the video and what you thought about it. So that is this week's IPA. So next week will be week 11, and we're coming to the end of our IPA as well, which is really exciting. So that's that. I just want to give a massive shout out and congratulations to Ruth Tate, who just every week storms the IPA. Hang on, let me get some music. There we go. Ruth Tate! Woo! Ruth always does so well with the IPA. So let's all follow Ruth's example and start doing some of these tasks and sharing them with the team. Well done, Ruth. Okay, now I'm going to hand it over to the very beautiful, very gorgeous, very lovely District Manager Heidi Farrow.
Hello. Okay, so Danny said to us before we went to AAC, when we come back, will you do like a few highlights? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. And then when I actually came to it today, I thought, right, I need to sit and I need to make some like bullet points. And I was like, I can't do it. I need about an hour just to read through the bullet points I've made, because it was just incredible. Before I went, everyone said to me how huge it was, and you've got to be there. And I was like, yeah, and I didn't get it. I just didn't get how big it is, and I don't think you can until you've been. I really don't. So my big tip is, if you haven't been, you have to go to the next one. You've got 9 months until the early bird tickets come out. You've got a year until like the actual event. So get planning now. I've sort of written down everything that I want, because I was thinking money wise is like a lot of people's issue. So sort of write it down now, work it out how much you need to save, and just do it and make sure you're there next year. There was so many good things. One of my favorite bits and one of my personal highlights was the keynote speaker, Connie Podesta. She was absolutely amazing. She made it was so funny that you really remembered everything that she said, and she was sort of so down to earth. Oh my god, if you ever get the chance to hear her, you have to definitely hear her. And she sort of taught us how you need to approach different people differently. So some people like all the facts and figures, some people just want a hug. And I found that really, really interesting. To have the MVPs, the MVPs stories all in one place, their tips. You can just walk up to, they're all there. So you don't have to watch a video, you can spot them, you can go up to them and you can talk to them, you can ask them anything, and they're more than happy to reply and stand there and chat to you for however long, obviously unless they're running off the stage or something. But just to have them all in one place is massive. And they're obviously sharing all their tips, and they've got all the in hindsight. So don't do this, for goodness sake, don't do this, and definitely do this. And they've learned, they know, they've done it, they've been there, which is lovely. The Gatsby evening, oh my god, I was a little bit dubious when it first came out, but then actually there, and we walked in and the glam, and it's something I've never been to anything like it before, ever. And I think one of the other biggest things for me is the little things. So everyone's always like, oh, you go and get a bag and that sort of thing. But it's like the little things. In the drinks reception, there was a caricaturist artist, and he was doing your caricatures that you could take home. There was like photo booths, there was professional photographers all around taking photos of you with the cars. There was a really old car that they were taking photos, black and white ones. There was the photo frames with the bulbs, and there was just so many extras. There was
love it.
But there's just so many extras, and it's the little things. You sometimes go to these really big events, and it's all about the main event. It's all about the main part, but was so much detail, so much effort's gone into all the tiny little details that make it as amazing as it is. What else was there? And I think like the biggest thing is filling your cup. Like we say, getting your cup filled up. And I think on Facebook especially, and even like our region trainings and stuff, we're only in sort of a little bubble. Not everyone comes to those or can come to those DAs and things. It's like little bubbles of people, and you sort of get in your own team and your own bubble, and you forget there's another 16 nations out there as well. And going, you're just like seeing all of the people and knowing that that's probably only a small percentage of them really, and just seeing all the people, it just resonates in you how big this little thing is. And the photos, obviously, all the like your posts on Facebook, your photos, your videos, Facebook lives, it's all part of building your business. Yeah, so I think that's sort of about it. The only other thing I have done personally today is I've gone through, and if I get the early bird ticket, if I give myself money for the I Want It All set and the boutique, spending money for there, or food, travel, hotel, everything, I've worked out it'll be roughly, for me, this is what I've chosen for next year, it'll be about £900. And I was like, oh my God, I can't afford that. But then when I divided it down, I was like, that's about £100 a month. just by cancelling my Sky and, I don't know, a magazine or newspapers or something like that, I can make that. And the huge difference this is going to make to my business, it is worth every single penny.
You could make that back by promoting the Christmas products anyway.
Yeah. And that's with buying the I Want It All. That's with me putting money in for the boutique. That's like food, breakfast, lunch, tea for the days that you don't get it there. That's the hotel that's travel. That's everything. And I thought, actually, even for the keynote speaker alone, that is well worth every single penny. So I just make your plans now. Do it. And work out how much you need to pay every month. But I can't say it enough. Go, make sure you're there, because my cup is overflowing everywhere. And you get one of these. Woo! And then you can see, I don't know, it's just something it's memories as well. Memories with all these lovely people. So I will hand over, sorry, I'll shut up now. And I'll hand over, who's next on my screen? I've got Emma next on my screen. So I'll hand over to you, Emma. And you do your
Yay! In this world full of people, there's one love.
Hi. So like Heidi said, yeah, you need to be there to literally experience the actual atmosphere of it. Last year, I followed everybody going to AAC on Facebook. And when you watch it through social media, you get the hype, you get the excitement, but it's nothing like actually being there in person. I walked in and I was literally like a rabbit in headlights. I was like, oh my God, there's so much going on. Like, you don't know where to look, and you see all the MVPs, and you're like, oh my God, there's Stuart Armfield, or like, there's Ian Pritchard, and they're like celebrities, and it's just amazing. So Charlotte Whittle was absolutely incredible. I don't think you could hear a pin drop in the room when she was talking. Her story and the passion, she just breathes passion for Arbonne, and everybody just felt that. But my main one, Connie Podesta was so funny. And when she said, oh, circles are really loud, and I was like, well, I'm not a circle then, even though I've drawn a circle. And then she kept going on when we were stood up, and I was like, yeah, that's me. And I did it with my little boy today, and he's a circle, and he literally does invade everybody's space. He just gets closer and closer and closer to everyone, like a true circle. But my main one was Sarah Dunham. So what I've done today is I've wrote some points from what she said, because everything she said just really resonated with me. And I've literally come away just like, right, Emma, you need to sort yourself out, get over whatever it is that's going on in my head, and really work on myself and just stop the crap, basically. So I wrote some points.
Kids on the call.
Sorry. So I wrote some points down, and she said to draw the line in the sand, feel terrified every single day. So I've made a commitment to myself that every single day now I will go out of the house into a random shop or anywhere, and I'm going to speak to one person a day, and I'm going to do it. Yeah! And literally feel terrified. And another thing that she said that really made me think was that we have this amazing opportunity in the palm of our hand, and there's people in the world that will never ever get this opportunity. And that really made me think, wow, that is so true. We are really, really lucky to have this amazing opportunity, and I'm not doing anything about it. That makes me like, wow, Emma, you're really selfish for not going out there and like doing this. What stops a lot of people doing Arbonne is caring too much about what other people think of you. And this is so true. Like, I'm always like, oh, what happens if so-and-so thinks of this, and so-and-so thinks that's stupid? And that's all that's going on inside my mind. And it's so true. A lot of people don't do it because they're so concerned about what everybody else thinks. It doesn't really matter what anybody else thinks. We all have people in our lives that are challenging. They are here to teach us lessons that we really don't want to learn, and take these people and think about, what do I need to learn from this person? More compassion, forgiveness, gratitude, and they will teach you your biggest lesson, which is really true. My husband is my biggest challenge on a day-to-day basis. He's not as bad as he was, but he literally is my biggest challenge. Like every day I'm like, pardon?
Is he there now?
No, he's back at 9:30. So
Get it all out now.
in the house. So he's like my biggest challenge. So I need to figure out what I can learn from him to grow me as a person. Take 100% responsibility for your life. How many days, months, weeks are you going to waste procrastinating and telling yourself all the stuff you keep telling yourself? I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not beautiful enough, or I'm not something enough. Tell yourself I'm good enough, I am enough. So tell yourself that you're good enough every single day, because everybody is. And this is one that really helped with the IPA as well. Sarah said to write down 20 powerful affirmations that contradict your limited belief, things that are holding you back, and write a positive affirmation that contradicts that. So I'm going to do that and say my affirmations every single day. So when you focus on other people, it becomes a breeze, and if it's all about you, it becomes difficult. So if you're constantly thinking, how can I help this person? Think about them. So don't make it about yourself, make it about other people. And have passion. So when everyone was stood on stage, like all the MVPs, like even the area managers, you could feel the passion, like literally dripping out of them. So like literally learn to love what you do, and you need to step out of your own way, step out of your comfort zone. So literally I must have this horrible shadow that literally blocks my way every single day. So I need to shove that out of the way and just get on with it. So yeah, like Sarah Dunning was literally, I'm going to stalk the life out of her now. I tried to add her on Facebook, but she's got too many Facebook friends. So yeah, that's it.
Do you know what? I remember trying to add people and it saying that, and I was like, for God's sake. And now I'm at that point, I can't accept any more friend requests. It feels awful because you have to delete some people.
Yeah.
When people in your team, like when you want to add people in your team, you have to actually find people to delete, and it's like, it's really horrible.
So that's it really. But the only thing I want to say is, if we didn't go to AAC this year, then you need to go to Glasgow next year. It like Heidi said, it literally fills your cup up, and you come away with so much fire in your belly, and it's just amazing. You can't describe it, you just have to be there. That's it. We talked about it tonight, but
We go hide away in daylight. We go undercover.
Well done, Emma. That was fabulous. Do you want to introduce the next speaker?
So the next person is Ruth.
This is my heartbeat song and I'm gonna play it. Been so long I forgot how to turn it up, all night long.
Can you talk, Ruth? Hang on, you're muted. Wait, hang on. There we go.
Okay, sorry, my internet's really bad tonight, so I'll try and make it really quick. Everyone says when you need to go to AAC because it's going to change your business, and you think, really? A weekend? Is that really going to change my business? It blooming well does, I can tell you. Even from the moment that you pull up and you see all the 75 white Mercedes outside, you think, oh my God, this is huge. This is what happens. This is, you know, what can become of your business. It's just madness. The energy, just everyone being on such a high.
but also what corporate put into it. So as Heidi was saying, all the thought that they put into it, all the little bits, all little added extras. You know, you walk in the first morning, you think, oh, I'm just walking into training. And you don't. You walk into 3 absolutely amazing men beatboxing and you think, oh my God, what else have they got in store for us? So the fans, while they're waiting for training, it's nice to meet the teams as well. You see everyone on Zoom and everything and all the videos, but it's nice to see everyone in person and just keep that community together. So I find that really, really helpful as well. It was really good to meet Stian Mork as well, and he's such a humble man. And he's so grateful and appreciative of us, and you think, oh well, that should be the other way around, should it not? But he really, really opened my eyes a lot. Connie Podesta was absolutely freaking amazing. I've watched a few of her YouTube things since, and I think the only one that didn't go to AAC watched some of her stuff, because it is very, very similar to what we saw, and it really has opened my eyes to different people and how I need to speak to them. So it really did help. Francis Horgan, is that how, I think that's how I've pronounced it right. It really resonated with me, because he showed a clip of him and Stuart when they first began, and it's kind of like how I am now, playing at it. They were all about.
He was counting how many appointments he'd had, and it was 3,
Yeah.
but it took like 5 minutes to actually count them.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And it was the way they were just, you know, very, very blasé about it and everything. And it made me think, oh, hang on. They were like that. They were like how I am now, you know, struggling. And look where they are now. You know, look where Stuart Armfield is now. There's hope for us all, yeah. That's what I think. So but it was really, really good to see. It was a very, very raw video, and that really, really helped me to understand you know, that everyone is the same. They all start out the same. I wrote so many damn notes on everyone and everything, because it was absolutely amazing. Sarah Dunning was really, really inspirational. She really did. There's so many quotes that she came out with that I want to write all over my house. Charlotte Whittle as well, she was a real good kick up the arse, and she really did. I really did like her training to give me that sense of urgency. Claire Smith Broom as well. I was in tears with her story. I really was. It really made me realise that if she can do it, you know, and everything she's been through, then she really can. Anyone can. The thing that really resonated with me, though, is everybody has a nation apart from us. We're an international nation, and I really felt that we didn't really have an identity, you know, a proper identity. And that really resonated with me when we were having the photos done. So we were having photos done for an international nation, but we were in different people's nations from America. So we'd have Gordon Fraser's nation with our nation, with whoever else's nation. And it made me realise we really need to push, and we really need to have a nation next year. That really did sort of hit home, that it's not just me and my business that we're doing it for. We're doing it for everybody, and we need to get a nation. Anyway, it really showed me as well how to turn a negative into a positive, and to utilise every opportunity. So I also came away with a number. So I did a little bit of prospecting while I was there, and I came away with a number, and that made me realise that all she was doing was listening to me and Heidi talking about Mercedes, and the lady thought that the Mercedes were there because they were like prizes. They were like, no, this is what you get. This is the company car. So that made me realise as well that people are listening and people are watching. The only other tip I will give is research your lanyard requirements. I wanted to go there with a big, long lanyard. And I thought, well, I can't, because I haven't done Grow Strong, I haven't done Strong Star, and I thought, well, that's all the lanyards were. I got there and I thought, oh my God, there's about 3 I could have had on there. So really research your lanyards, and it really gives you a boost when you walk in there thinking, I've got a long lanyard. So that was my other tip for the day.
In Vegas, you do get Grow Strong and Strong Star.
Yeah, and I assumed it would be that for AAC as well, but there's not. So there's a lot. I think to anyone that's looking to go next year, just research everything and research what you'd need to do. I
think she's gone. I'll find the picture of what you can have on your lanyard for Las Vegas. How at AAC they had a picture of everything for AAC. I'll find the Las Vegas one while Emily's talking. It's near my desk, so I'll look for it in a second. So Heidi's got her AAC one. Fabulous. What, Heidi? Do you want to just read off what's on there?
I can't see me for some reason, so I don't know if you could see.
We can see you. Yeah, we can see you.
Yeah, that's all right then. My box has disappeared. I don't know where it's gone. So you've got independent consultant, district manager, area manager, executive area manager, and new area manager. Regional vice president, executive regional vice president, and new regional vice president. And then you've got national vice president, executive national vice president, and new national vice president. These are mouthfuls. AAC 2000.
Oh, Ruth's back.
Hey, what?
Ruth's
Oh,
back.
Ruth. I just realised when you said that, I was like, oh! Yeah, so you've got AAC 2016 speaker, champion for change, Arbonne Charitable Foundation, AIT 2016 Hello Paradise Achiever, first time attendee. I got my survival kit, so it's even down to that. I'm going to toast to success, and that was an incentive, wasn't it, earlier in the year?
Yeah.
And then your nation and your country. And yes, Ruth, we need a nation next year. No question.
We well do.
3 nations next year. We need 3 nations next year.
We do. We do.
We do.
Because we really didn't have, like you say, we didn't have an identity as such. You were a little bit like, well, we're the group of misfits at the end. You didn't have somewhere you seemed to fit. Sorry.
We'll definitely be a Wells nation next year.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, we will. Right, Ruth, did you want to say anything else?
No, I think that's it. I didn't realise it got cut off, but I think that was right near my end anyway. So no, that's it. I'm good.
Brilliant. Thank you, Ruth. Do you want to introduce the next speaker?
Yeah. Oh, is it Emily? So it's the lovely Emily speaking next, who I only met at AAC. So like I say, it's nice to finally meet everyone. So over to Emily.
Woo!
Thank you, Ruth. I don't really know what I can add to all of that because everybody just made some fantastic points. I think it just blew my head off. Absolutely blew my head off. From as soon as me and Gemma got there, and it was lovely because it was both of us, it was our first time, so we didn't really know what to expect. I think I knew a little bit more just from the pictures and that I've seen from Vegas and AAC last year. But it was lovely being able to get down on Thursday sort of early evening, because we could just have a mooch around and go into the product experience, and nothing was rushed, and there was loads of space, and we could just really, get stuck in. So I'd really recommend people to do that if you can next time. Go for that extra night, because it really makes a difference. Because of course on the Friday and Saturday it was absolutely mobbed and heaving in there. But I mean, from the minute we walked in, we were just like kids in a sweet shop, and it was like, oh my god, the bag, we've got the bag, and let's go and look at this, and let's go and look at that, and go around the boutique. And then of course we were completely gutted that the Christmas stuff wasn't out yet, and oh my god, we've got to wait for this. And even though we've seen all the makeup, but just seeing it set out like that and having another play with it just felt different. And the way they'd set all the products out in the product experience, it just looked absolutely stunning. So we got some fantastic photos which are great for social media.
Thank you everybody for letting me steal yours as well.
That's what we do though, isn't it? We steal off each other. The best copycat wins.
I didn't have time to take any, but every time I saw someone post them, I was like, save the phone.
But it was just great, and because it was quiet as well, we bumped into a few people, and so started the bit of the selfie obsession and stalking people, and and that was really good fun as well. And then of course we got to catch up with everybody that evening, which was lovely. But I mean, going in that first morning, to that auditorium, to that music, to those lights. I had a horrendous night's sleep. I didn't get to sleep until about 1:30 in the morning, and then I was awake at about 7 o'clock, which is ludicrous for me because I go to sleep like that and I can sleep till God knows when. And I was so tired. I was like a kid on Christmas Eve. I just couldn't sleep. It was like being a kid on Christmas Eve. And I thought, this is going to be really hard. But as soon as we walked in, that energy and that madness was just insane. And you can't explain it to people, and you can't describe it to people. You just have to be there to feel it, to get that buzz. And it's like nothing else. I mean, it's not even the closest thing I can relate it to is going to a massive concert and getting that energy, but it was just more than that, so much more than that. So just amazing. And then of course we had all of our speakers. Connie was phenomenal, absolutely hilarious. I think I was crying with laughter. What was that you got? I was at Lanyard. I was crying with laughter with Connie. I thought she was absolutely brilliant.
That's a picture of Chrissy Dryling's lanyard in Vegas, and it about touches the knees. It's not very good. Sorry to interrupt you.
Pardon? That's all right. That's mad. Yeah, so Connie was a massive highlight for me. And I did the shape test for Jess as well, and no surprise, she's also a circle. No regard for time, and always in your personal space, and very loud and doesn't shut up. So it was a bit of a given, really. I loved Francis. I thought he was hilarious, and I think something that as Ruth, I can't remember if it was Ruth or Emma that said, just seeing how they were back then, and just I think with all of the speakers, they are exactly the same as us. They have all started where we have started, and they've made it happen, and they've made it work. And it gives you a kick up the backside, and it just makes it real. And the whole thing just makes it real. It's not a fantasy. It's not something that, you just can't achieve. You can achieve it. You can do it. And you can go and if you want it, you go and get it. And, it's just really affirmed all of the things that I already knew, really, which we all know, do the activity, get on with it, stop making excuses, It's simple. You just got to do it. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that I've taken away from it. And my new motto now is, what's the worst that's going to happen? Every time it's like, God, shall I speak to that person? Well, what's the worst that's going to happen? And stop worrying about what other people think, and stop thinking about it. Don't think about it, just do it. And I mean, I did my video last night, and I couldn't believe, I thought, I need to do this video. I need to start doing videos. I can't bear doing videos, but I've got to start doing it.
It was brilliant.
And I was thinking about it all the way home. I thought, I can't do it when I get home because, of course, I'll be home. So I thought, I pulled the car up on the other side of the road, and all the way, after dropping Gemma off, all the way back home, I was like, I kept thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. I thought, stop thinking about it, just do it. And I did it. And then I started getting welling up and blubby at the end, and I was like, oh my God, pull yourself together. But I thought I felt like I had to do it then, because I didn't want to be fake. I wanted to keep it real, and I wanted to share everything that I was feeling at the time. And it was, it did get emotional, because, it was an emotional weekend, I think, for everybody. Everybody had, a bit of a cry and a bit of a laugh and everything. So yeah, I think, just keep it real and do it. What's the worst that's going to happen? So yeah, but amazing. It's got to be done.
Brilliant. Thank you, Emily. Do you want to introduce Stacey? She's going to share as well.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're on to the lovely Stacey. Take it away.
Woo, hang on. Wait.
Oh.
Wait.
Oh yeah. And just to add, I didn't know what to do when I got home. I felt like crying because it was all over.
I know what you mean.
And it was like the worst come down after an amazing rave or something. And this morning was like, well, what am I going to do? There's no loud music on. There's no lights flashing. It's just, what's going on?
What is the point?
It was in my house. I was having a rave at 9 o'clock this morning.
Good girl. I'll hand over to you now, Stacey.
Thank you. Well, it's my first AAC, and I knew I was going to go because I couldn't believe I missed GTC, and I kicked myself many times because I missed GTC, and I just made the excuse up because I was an absolute chicken, poo, for not wanting to take Wyatt on my own. So I was a bit of a chicken and not going to GTC, but that's one thing I'm not missing is GTC. So glad I went to AAC. To be honest, I feel a little bit, I said to Danny and a couple of other guys, I feel a little bit drunk with the inspiration, and I feel like I've got a bit of a hangover from it all. Even though I had one glass of Prosecco, I feel like I've had so much. And I just think that's because there was so much to take in and so much to see. And I'm just looking over my notes now. And I think it was Hetty Gifford that got up and was talking about the highs and lows and about your activity and stuff like that. And about doing whatever it takes and not quitting. And I think a couple of things that she said was, you always have the keys to success, even if you can't find them. And she said something like, if you ever lost your keys and you looked in your bag, you couldn't find them. And then all of a sudden, your friend goes, have you looked in your bag? You're like, yes, I've looked in my bag. And do you know what made me laugh is my husband done the exact same thing with my daughter's phone today in the car. And he went, it ain't in the car. I've looked through the car everywhere. And my daughter went there, and guess what she found? She found her phone. So I think it just, so I just think it goes to show that we have what it takes, is that we have to find it within us and do it anyway. And our life is a creation of our mind, and that is 100% true, and definitely true for me anyhow, because I went through such a bad sort of spate of like depression and stuff like that, and then reading the 40 books that I've read since January, I'm a different person to what I am. And it's what you believe is what you can achieve. And so yeah, and what I got from there is actually being able to imagine myself on the stage, and a little bit scared to admit this, but I would love to be a motivational speaker.
Yeah! Nothing could ever stop me from watching you be on the stage as a motivational speaker.
Stacey, you would be an incredible motivational speaker. I'd paid thousands to come and listen to you.
It's a bit scary, and I was sitting there thinking, should I tell them that?
Stacey, though, it'd be really shocked, because you'd be like, hi, my name's Stacey Blackley. Look, I ain't got time for chit-chat because I've got to go and build my millions. Just do it. Just don't worry about everything. Just do it. Right, I got to go. See you later.
I just think it's just because I know how other people have inspired me, and how through watching other people, how it's made me do what I need to do. And I think if I can inspire some other people to do the same, then, and I can change people's lives like people have changed my lives, then, you know, that's just amazing. Yeah. So, and it's just, I mean, AAC really has blown me away. And even Paul was like, because I took Paul because it's our anniversary, as you know, and he was moaning in the car all the way up there. And I was like, listen, I said, you'll see what it's all about when you get there. And he's like, yeah. And he absolutely loved it. He really did. And he just couldn't believe it. And now he knows what it's about. And now he can't wait to share it with everybody, because he's like, do you know what? He goes, I'm not going to sign up as a consultant. He goes, but I really want to help you make this work. And I'm like, thanks, babe. So that's really nice. I think as well, what a really good point was, what I learned was how to start my ICs off strong, because I needed to work that. You know, I'm really passionate, and at the end of the day, your IC, you know, the people that you introduce the company and the opportunity to have to want it for themselves. And I found myself wanting it more for them than they actually did. because I can see the passion and so much that you can achieve. And I'm just like, come on, can't you see this? But you can't make people see what they can't see. You can just share with what you know and your excitement, but they have to see and dream for themselves. So I've learnt that. And what else? There's a couple of things, sorry. Yeah, me and Paul loved Connie Podesta, and he was sitting there watching the YouTube today, which was quite funny. And he was just been watching that, which is really good. She just made so much sense, you know, she really did. And basically, one really good thing that I learned was you're gonna fail, but good, because you fail your way forward. That's how you go. Don't worry if you don't make your goals. I went into area qual and I was crying my eyes out because I didn't go into area. And then I was like, well, maybe I just can't do it. But you know what? That is how you learn your lesson. You've got to have a story to go with your journey. What's the point in going to the top and going, yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, I got there. It was really good fun. Yeah. That ain't no story. That's boring. I went to area qual and my team went. Oh, well, there's not much you can do about it. Just get on and do it. You learn as you go. And if you make mistakes, then so what? You learn from them. Yeah, so I hope that helped everyone.
Well done, Stacey.
I must admit, one thing though is I didn't feel like I had enough time to see everything. Even though I got there the night before, I didn't get enough time to go and see all the makeup that was out, and then people were taking pictures with the blossom trees, and I was like, oh my God, I just didn't get time to do that. And then I tried the makeup and I loved the Christmas range. Oh, and a really good point of going to AAC and GTC, we get wicked discounts for the bloody I Want It Alls. So yeah, that's a massive bonus. I just can't believe that. And the fact that we get it sooner before everybody else.
No, that is great. I love it. Stacey, can you introduce Fiona?
Yes, and the next lovely speaker is the beautiful Fiona.
Woo!
Hello. Literally just got out the bath. The video on. So excuse my face. Hang on 1 second. Turn you back on, the sound back on. Hello, everybody. So, AAC for me. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I haven't been before. I think I didn't realise the magnitude of it before. I made excuses before. I think what it is, I didn't see the value in it before. You know, that amount of money to go, you know, that the amount of the price for your ticket, I didn't see the value in it. And I had other things to spend that money on. But now that I've been, I'm like, I would spend so much more money on the ticket. Like, you get so much for that money. I think I would pay 10 times the amount that I did.
What we pay for a ticket doesn't cover the conference. It probably covers all of the tickets that we pay for. I think covers about 10% of the conference, and Arbonne pay the rest.
Do you know what? I was talking about this on the way home. We were trying to figure out how much putting all of it on, how much it cost them, and we just versus how many people went and the price of the tickets. And me and Mum said that we didn't know that for sure, but we said there's no way it covered the price of that.
Does it?
I'm just blown away. I would pay 10 times the amount to have the exact same experience over again. And the biggest thing, okay, so what did I learn? Oh my goodness, I learned so much. The biggest thing I learned was that I'm rubbish and I'm stopping myself from doing this business. And I think 3 separate people said, 2 of them in a really nice way and 1 of them in a very blunt way, the only person that is in your way and stopping you from doing this business properly is yourself. And it's me. I'm the one that chooses to put the effort in or not put the effort in, and put things in my diary and not put things in my diary, and talk to people and not talk to people, and not to do follow-ups, and you know, not to work my Arbonne business every day and every opportunity that I have. And now I just think I waste so much time doing something that is not going to benefit my life in any way, shape or form, like scrolling through Facebook or watching pants TV or just sitting doing nothing, when actually I could be an RVP by now. So that's the biggest thing I've learned, that there's no amount of excuses are enough. There are no excuses for not doing this business. If you want to do it, you will do it, and that's it, end of. So that's the biggest thing I learned, and I'm just going to go for it now. The second thing I learned was how to manage and how to support and mentor consultants that have started their business under me. So we had a training on that, and how to start your consultants off right. And I kind of feel like I've failed my consultants that are in my team already now. But like Stacey says, each failure you learn from, and each failure is a part of your journey. And I've contacted one of my consultants. I've contacted one of my consultants who I fucked up really with, that's stopped really doing this business. I contacted her today, and I've been messaging her, and I've evoked that passion back in her, and basically said that, you know, we're going to crack on with it now, and she's really excited, and we're going to get back on it. I think some people require more mentoring and support and encouragement than others, and some people require more directness and more clear, decisive goals and tools for them to use. And I haven't really been that. And when you have someone in your team, like for me is CJ, who is a gold ship and EMVP already, she has just run with this business without really needing me, and that's great. But not everyone is like that. Some people need that extra bit of support in the beginning. And I think because I haven't given them that support, they haven't then learned the skills that they need to go off on their own and do this business. So
you're not alone there, Fiona. I think you're speaking for all of us there.
You reckon?
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I've learned now, and I know now that you know, that the way that I support the next few consultants is going to change, and the way that I support my current consultants is going to change. And it's my responsibility. That's the other thing. Sarah Dunning. I've seen Sarah Dunning talk twice now live, and if you haven't seen Sarah Dunning talk live, then 100% you need to. She just has so much passion for helping others visualize the potential in this business and visualize themselves in this world and what they can do. And she makes you think. She makes you really, really think. And yes, that was incredible. Frances, oh my goodness, Frances was hilarious. My tummy hurt watching Frances, and it was so nice to see the other side of Stuart. And it was so nice to see someone who's a partner, who's with someone that is extremely successful within Arbonne. It's lovely to see that everyone is on their own journey, and he's just found his niche. He's just found it, and he's going to be an RVP soon for sure. And it was lovely to see him. And I got to rub faces literally with Stuart Armfield. That was pretty awesome. And I met one of my biggest idols in Arbonne, someone that completely changed my business for me, which was Andy Roberts. I met him and his lovely wife, and a few of you know that I am a little bit of a stalker when it comes to Andy Roberts. He delivered training for our team, and I watched his story. So it was for Danny's region call, and I watched him and his wife's story, and that just blew me away, the challenges that they overcome. And before I met him, we had some training from Francis, and Francis said one of his biggest tips was to go up to MVPs and RVPs and ask them, talk to them, and ask them to do things for you, ask them to give you advice, ask them to give you little tips and things like that, and go and do that. So of course, when I saw Andy Roberts and Rachel Roberts, I was a bit like, starstruck to start off with. But then, I said to them, would you deliver your training to my team? And then Andy Roberts has since messaged me and said, right, when do you want me to do the Zoom for your team? Just like that. Andy Roberts and Rachel Roberts delivering a Zoom call for my team. Crazy. Yeah, so, and then the other thing is I've put my stake in the ground. I'm going into area manager qualification by the end of the month. And when we went to area retreat, I was in area manager qualification. There's 5 of us that went to area retreat in area manager qualification, and all 5 of us.
From my region?
Yeah.
There was 9.
Yeah, but there was 5 of us that were in area manager qualification and have now
sorry.
dropped out. That's what, and they've now dropped out. And I just think all 5 of us weren't quite ready and needed something. And I just feel it in my bones that I'm going to be walking the stage with Natalie and Stacey and Vic and me, and there was one other person, Jane. We're going to do it. I know we're going to do it because we've got it within ourselves to do it, and we're going to find our keys and we're going to smash it, and then we're going to use those keys to start our Mercs. I feel
guys.
I feel it. Yeah. And it's more than, it's more than just saying, yeah, we're going to do it. It's more than that. I'm not just sitting there going, yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. It's more than that. I actually feel it. I feel it. And I know that I'm going to be walking across the stage with some of my best friends in the whole world. And I know that they are the most beautiful people inside and out. And I am very privileged to be able to share this journey with you ladies. I love you all. I've loved spending time with every single person at AAC this weekend. Like Ruth said, it's nice to meet people in person. Love you, Ruth, in your triangle ways. Love you all. And yeah.
Thank you for that training, Fiona. And everybody that has delivered, all the hearts, look. Ooh. Everyone that's delivered a training tonight, absolutely. I love this. And I think it's going to be a great call that we've recorded for everyone's perspective as a first-time AAC attendee. So thank you so much, everybody. So we've got our whole multi-region Zoom at 9 o'clock. So I'm going to nip to the toilet and get straight back on. But thank you, everybody. And thank you for all the trainers. Natalie, were you going to say something then?
Yeah, I just, I know I've not shared my story, but I just have to say.
Oh, you've got 1 minute.
Right, one thing, just take it quick. One thing that I've really, really learned, and just how beautiful all of you are, and how amazing you all are, and how much I adore the bones of every single one of you. And Fiona, when you were talking then, my whole body was like tingling. I can't even tell you the love I have for every single one of you on this call. And that is just, look at the family that we are, look at what we represent, and look at the support we give one another. That is priceless, completely.